there comes a time in our lives when we have to take life for what it really and actually is, and that it is a series of move-ons. When we have to understand that moving on is not the same as giving in or giving up. When we have to realize that moving on is just another act of courage. And perhaps one of the deepest lessons of life is learning that not everything we love is meant to remain with us forever. It's not a nice thing, but it's one of the facts of life. And moving on asks us to surrender, but not to defeat, but to surrender to change and to be okay with change. And surrendering does not mean we become passive or we are being passive. It means accepting that we cannot control everything, and we cannot control every person, and we cannot control every situation and circumstance. We cannot control all and every chapter of our lives. It means having the courage to say, this ends here, and there is freedom in that. There is freedom in saying and accepting that certain things end, and they end at a particular place at a particular time, and find freedom in that. And non-attachment teaches us to love without needing to possess, to care without needing to control, and to appreciate without demanding permanence. We can honor what was, without forcing it to remain. We can be grateful for certain chapters, all chapters, in fact, without rereading them the same, rereading the same chapter, the same pages over and over again. Siba attached to those chapters or those pages of our lives. And sometimes the hardest courage is the courage to continue, to rebuild, to start afresh, or to, even though we know that we're starting from experience, we're starting from some level of growth, it's still not easy. Things happen for a reason. We like saying that, but sometimes we forget that things happen for a reason, and endings can leave us with a lot of wisdom. They can provide clarity. Endings can leave us with gratitude. Endings can leave us with a deeper understanding of who we are, of where we are headed. And perhaps life is not asking us to hold on forever. Perhaps it is teaching us to move on with it, to move, because Impilo is forever moving. To release what has accomplished its purpose in our lives, to surrender to what is changing, and to learn from what has been, to have that courage to keep walking towards what comes next. It's the courage to turn the page. Life, because really life, it is a series of move-ons. And sometimes the next page is awaiting for us, the moment Sibana that audacity to turn it. With that being said, it's a lesson I learned this month, when life said, move on. And yeah, we have a new home, a new TikTok home, and I hope to see you there. I'll put in the link or the page on the video. And yeah, no matter how hard we tried to prevent that from happening, it happened, and it made me reflect. It made me come to this understanding and this reflection. Some things we cannot control, and some chapters we just have to accept that they have to end. And in retrospect, because life always connects our dots backwards, we will understand why that change had to happen. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side. It's a new home. It's a new home, same name, still keeping to the same movement, the same concept of courage to continue. It's courage to continue with X. And yeah, thank you so much for those that have been on this page. And I really and do hope that you will follow us on the other page as well.